Today we are going to cut 6 pieces blouse. With round neck. As you can see, I will fold my clothes by 2. I want to cut. First thing, you have to cut the blouse, and you know that this blouse carry lace tube. Now I have to get the full length of the blouse. First thing, the full length of the blouse should be 25. I will add 1 inch to make it 26 for my sewing. The second thing is you have to get the zip allowance at the back. This is the zip allowance. Then the shoulder here is 16. You have to divide your 16 by 2, which means you get 8. You cut it. You have to remove 1 inch from the shoulder. Just is the shoulder curve, because you can see, you see human being, the shoulder of a human being is not straight, so it will be curved. Now the armpit, I will make my armpit 9 inches. From shoulder to the waist, I will do 16. Then the full length. Now the measurement of the bust, we have bust 40. 40 divided by 4, you will get 10. We have to add 1.5 for the allowance. Now the waist is 36. You divide it by 4 again. You will get 9 plus 2. The waist now is plus 2. That will be 11. You have to do the shaping. Now sometimes some people don't normally measure the hip. When you do not measure the hip, maybe when the person wear the clothes, the hip will tight. So the hip of this woman now is 44. You have to share it by 4 again. That means you will get 11 plus 2. That will make it 13. You see the shape. You now cut. You follow your armpits with your straight line to the shoulder, so that the thing will curve well. You cut. This is my cutting. Cut the armpit, but you fold it by 2. Yes. You have to cut the center of the 2 blouse. The center of the 2 blouse. Take your back again, put it at the center. You have to remove the 1 inch allowance because it's not included on the wrist. You have to cut this thing off. You have to cut this, stopping at 4 inches. You stop. You have to measure 2.5 inches here for the front, for the lace tube to carry it up. Because this is cut dress tube we carry to form the dress tube. Now you will check the nipple of the woman. Her nipple is 11. You mark this 11 here. The underbust is 14. You mark it. Now you have to use here the center of the breast, the center of the front blouse. You measure 4.5. You mark it as if you're cutting princess cut. You mark it to go like this. You get 4.5 again. 4.5 again. Before you reach at the length, you have to put your pieces cut as the A line. You have to form something like A line here. You cut. See my pieces cut. You might ask me, how did I start getting the 2 cut? I started with 9 inches here, or 10, before I start to slant my hand. Then you have to launch or mark the nipple, because without marking the nipple, all you are doing will be disorganized. Then you have to get the side bust tube. fold your cloth again by 4. Fold it by 4 again. By 2 again, sorry, you fold by 2, sorry, you fold by 2 again. Sorry, it's a mistake. You fold by 2. So now you have to do this mark. This marking must be there. You mark it. After the marking, you mark the nipple and the underbust. The underbust is 14. So you mark the nipple and the underbust. You take your back, put it on top. Remove your 1 inch allowance or 1.5 inches allowance. You have to remove it because it's not included. You have to do the next cutting of the side tube. Get the same shape as you get the back. You go down. Then this is my work. You remove this one. You have to remove the back. When you remove the back, you have to remove here. You remove it. See your cut. This is your cut. So from here now, from the underbust, you measure it 3 inches to mark your fishing. Now you have to form your tube. This is very, very important. When you did not get this thing, that means the tube of the person, you will not get it. You have to mark it depending on the size of the bust. This mark the size of the tube. You have to start your cutting again. This is where you get your waist shape. That is why I do this thing. I do it 3 inches. You have to cut it this way. This is the tube blouse. You mark the nipple. Without marking this nipple, that means you not get what you want. Whatever you get here is what you will get from this center to here. You will see the shape of the bust of the person. Then you get the center blouse. You have to check this thing. You carry this thing, match it to the mouth. Match it to the mouth. You do your shape like this. Scissors must be included. You hold it. You form it well. You can see now I'm forming pieces cut. See it. Hold this thing this way. You take your back again. Check your back again. See what is going on here. You cut here. Trim the armpit again. The front armpit. Now you have to trim the down. Down that 3 inches you add then, or 2.5. You have to cut it off. Now you have seen the shape. If you want to check well, you have to trim here again so that the bust will not go off. You go deep, trim it. You have to come again and check your nipple again. See what is going on. Whether it's working. You have to hold your scissors again. You have to hold it well. So I check it second time so that you not make mistake. You have to hold it again. Put the back again. As you can see it, there is more trimming here. You have to trim it off. You have to trim here. Yeah, we are through with the body cutting. Now the neck. The neck. You have to keep this thing in order. See the neck. We will use 4. Let me just use 4 on this person. At times we use 4.5. At times we use 5. So you have to, depending on the size of the person. Look at this place. You have to trim it again so that the armpit will not off. You have to trim it so that the thing will be neat. After the trimming, you have to cut off this thing in order to get the normal fitting well. Cut it off. Now the neck. See our tube. See the shape of our tube. As you can see it. Now the neck is round neck. You have to use 6 inches for the neck. Deep. Cut this thing deep round. You have to cut it. You have to cut the neck. So now this front one is good. It's okay. 6 pieces, 3 pieces for front. front, then 3 pieces at the back. Now the neck at the back, I have to use 3 inches at the back to go to that place where you will run for the front. There will be the center. You will have to cut. You have to cut it. Now, after the cutting, you go to your waist. You have to measure 4 inches or 3.5, depending on how you want it. You cut this shape, princess cut. Now you come down. This is my waistline. I have to add it 1. I have to do my pieces. I have to follow this. If you do this thing, this place, that means the shape of the person will be too bogus. So you have to add 1 inch to the 16 inches before you go your slanting way. Using it, then you have to do your dart. This cutting shows that you are doing your dart. You trim it. So this is the center. This side one, we have to add fishing to, so now we have to cut another one. For you to get the fishing. So since this place fish well, I have to turn this thing like this way. I have to do this shape. Follow it here. I have to do this. Yeah. This is my fishing again. This is my fishing. I have to go like this to enter the one I cut already. I'm getting another one. As this first one will be removed. It will not be included again in our work. So you have to cut this thing, trim it this way. As you can see, I have removed it. It's not working again. So you have to keep this thing. For you to see your work that it is neat, you have to put it back and trim some things out. Have you seen it? This is my pieces cut. So you have to do this type of cutting here. You have to trim it this way. Yeah. We are through with our pieces cutting. And the shirt hand, you have to fold your clothes by 4 inch, 4 fold. I have folded 1, I have folded 2, I folded 2, and I'll fold again to make it 4. And I see that it is too much, I have to go back. The shirt hand, I have to fold it again. Looking at the flower, it shows that my flower goes down. I want the flower to stand up, so I have to cut this thing off and turn it again. As you can see now, my flower is facing up, and my sleeve there is 11 inches. 11 inches is the length. I have to add 1 inch to fold it. Yeah, this is the sleeve. For me to get long sleeve, I will get 5. Then the size of the hand of the person, depending on the size of the person, I will use 10. Now we check the long sleeve to be 14 divided by 2. It's true that I folded by 4, but I will make it by 2. I will check it by 2. So the round sleeve is 14 divided by 2. That will be 7 plus 1 inch for sewing. 8. You do your shape like this. Do your armpit shape like this. Then you cut. Thank you for this is our work for today.